I have a lot of feelings, good and bad, mostly good, about the Zoom Plus pedals. I've never jumped into the Zoom stuff for years. I remember the old Richie Sambora ads for their first multi-pedal, and this takes the whole multi-pedal experience and puts it in a package that us pedal guys can really use. In fact, those first two pedals that you heard were just the 200D and the IR Plus. And for a lot of us pedal players that just go into an amp, you could use just those two pedals alone and gig. However, they also have a multi-mod pedal. With all of the options that this one pedal has, I could replace my dual unit 500 series pedals that take up a huge footprint on my Mann pedalboard and have a lot of patches with exactly what I need coming out of just one stereo pedal. It has a lot of really good sounds. All of these pedals have a tuner, options for battery or AC power. And I'm not let down by the sounds at all. It's when we start to get into some of the control aspects and buying into their app for each one of their pedals that I kind of am like, The 80 IR Plus also has a built-in gate with some really good options, such as sensing the input of the guitar or the effect, and you can dial it in pretty tight. It's easy to just hit the library button and change out whatever effect you have in that current position, or go into the menu, move the effect so that the order is different. of course, want to check your gate if you stack stuff. The amp pedal does have ambience, right? Yeah, it has ambience to add ambience, but it's really not like reverb. It's just kind of a studio setting feel thing. So clearly, a wide variety of tones to be had between just those three pedals. If you want to run all three pedals together, it gets a little tough because the cramped spacing of the cross keys, you got to really kind of consider that when you place your pedals, although Ninja Fox offers a really neat little solution to this, and I've seen guys actually take a volume knob or a tone knob and hot glue it onto the cross keys button. The push knob, each one of these control knobs also offers a push option. It's very sensitive. I'd love to see a firmware update that offers like a 1 or 2 second hold option before it engages the editing section. And then my final problem really is that this is USB MIDI control. There's no output, and by design, USB host controllers can really only support one device at a time. So if you want to use multiple pedals like this and change between all the effects, you're going to need a number of things. At least one dedicated USB host device, and I'm using a disaster area micro ghost. It's pretty cool, and it has a lot of options, but it can only control one thing at a time. and you then are going to need a USB cable to go into one of those pedals. And then to control a couple of other pedals, I have this guy, you know, which was being fed MIDI from the MIDI output of the Chocolate, but then it also had host output and it had Bluetooth control connected to the dongle. It's such a mess to set up, and then getting the dongle connected consistently to the Chocolate was a real pain. And I've got so many turnarounds and so many cables, so many different things going on just to use one controller to control a couple of effects, really 3 effects. At the moment, I've taken the one pedal off, the IR pedal off, just so you can see all the stuff that's in there. And I have adapters left and right, and it's kind of frustrating. If you're an OCD control freak like me, this is troubling. You know, it took me a long time to really get it to the point of being able to control even a couple of things, let alone adding the IR pedal. And then on top of it, like I was saying, the way that the Chocolate is connecting, I'm using host to connect to one device, and then the Bluetooth, I'm really sorry for all the crappy camera work here. The Bluetooth is connecting to this little dongle, and sometimes it's recognized. Yeah, right there. You see, it's not. Most of the time, it's not. I think it takes me a total of 50 seconds to make this happen. I'm going to speed it up real quick right here. It's frustrating trying to get MIDI control over all of these, and the actual control themselves of the pedals is just kind of frustrating. But the sounds are great. I really like the sounds. I'm not going to get rid of these things. I think the sounds are really good. So I'm going to hope that Zoom gives us a control option, and I'm going to hope you subscribe and like this video.